Hello guys, today I am going to deliver the concepts of problems related to tray towel and its troubleshooting steps. We all know that in order for good separation or fractionation to occur in distillation column, the vapors must have good contact with the liquid on each tray. And when the large bubble is broken into several smaller bubbles, the smaller bubbles expose more surface area for vapor liquid contact. We can see this phenomena by this example here. Large bubble is here and it is breaking down into the smaller fragments, and we know that tray plays a very crucial role in achieving the separation for distillation process. And these are the various types of tray, like tray type, bubble cap tray, then dual flow, sieve tray, and bar tray. And these are the properties listed, like the capacity, pressure drop, efficiency, turn down ratio, maintenance, and the falling rate. And these are the categories in which divided, like the capacity of bubble cap tray is moderate and the dual flow rate is very high, while for the sieve tray the capacity is very high, and for valve tray it runs between the high to very high. And these are the efficiency enlisted, uh, and similar to that the turn down ratio and maintenance, all these things are enlisted here. And now come to the feed conditions, which plays a crucial role in determining the problems related to tray towel. We all know that the state of the feed mixtures and feed composition affects the operating lines and hence the number of states required for separation, and it also affects the location of feed tray. During operation, if the deviations from design specifications are excessive, then the column may no longer be able to handle the separation tasks. In order to overcome the problems associated with the feed, some columns are designed to have multiple feed points when the feed is expected to containing varying amount of components. Then another thing is about reflux conditions. We know that we do reflux in order to increase the purity of the mixtures, and reflux is defined as the ratio of return by distillate. And as the reflux ratio is increased, the gradient of operating line for the rectification section moves towards a maximum value of 1. And physically what this means is that more and more liquid that is rich in the more volatile components are being recycled back into the column. Separation then becomes better, and the less trays are needed to achieve the same degree of separation. Minimum trays are required under total reflux conditions, while the maximum trays are required when the reflux ratio is at minimum. And this is the vapor versus liquid mole fraction diagram, which varies with the slope, which is denoted by r by r plus 1. And here this line is the diagonal line, this one is the rectifying section line, and this curve is the equilibrium curve of the distillation column under a prescribed data. Next is the vapor flow conditions. We know that adverse vapor flow conditions can cause foaming, then entrainment and whipping or flooding. These are the adverse effect of the vapor flow conditions if it is not under desirable criteria. So let's talk about the foaming first. So foaming refers to the expansion of liquid due to the passage of vapor and gas. Although it provides a high interfacial liquid vapor contact, excessive foaming often leads to the liquid build-up on tray. This is the major drawback of foaming on the operation conducted in the tray. And next one is about entrainment. Entrainment refers to the liquid carried by vapor up to the tray above and is again caused by high vapor flow rates. It is detrimental because tray efficiency is reduced. Lower volatile material is carried to a plate holding liquid of higher volatility. It could also contaminate high purity distillate. Excessive entrainment can lead to flooding. Next is about the whipping. We all know that whipping occurs in a perforated sieve trays or other tray types that rely solely on gas pressure to hold liquid on the tray, whereby the liquid leaks through the sieves at low gas rates. At very low gas rates, none of the liquid reaches the downcomer, and this extreme whipping is called swirling or dumping. This was about whipping, and this phenomena is caused by the low vapor flow. This is the main reason of happening of whipping. Next one is flooding. Flooding is brought about by excessive vapor flow, causing liquid to be entrained in the vapor up to the column. The increased pressure from excessive vapor also backs up the liquid in the downcomer, causing an increase in liquid holdup on the plate above. Depending on the degree of flooding, the maximum capacity of the column may be severely reduced. Flooding is detected by sharp increase in the column differential pressure and significant decrease in separation efficiency. So the pressure drop also increases due to the flooding. This is one of the consequence. Next one is the reduction in vacuum. We all know that a slight drop in vacuum causes the boiling point to go up, leading to low vapor flow rate and loss of production and of spec products. In vacuum distillation also, when we provide vacuum, means if we diminish the pressure to a very low value, then the boiling of the crude happens. So this phenomena can be related with that, like reducing the pressure can cause boiling of something. Next one is about the wet feed. If a column is typically fed with a dry hydrocarbon feed, but the feed becomes contaminated with water, then at some point when the water and hydrocarbon mixture enters the tower, the water can vaporize so rapidly that it causes an over pressure event. This can damage the tray. This affects the column efficiency and product quality. So this plays a crucial role in order to determine the quality of products coming out through the tray. Then column diameter also had significant role in the tray efficiency. Most of the above factors that we discussed previously affect column operations due to vapor flow conditions. They occurs either due to the excessive or too low flow rate, but the vapor flow velocity is dependent on column diameter. Whipping determines the minimum vapor flow required, while flooding determines the maximum vapor flow allowed. Hence column capacity is affected. But thus, if the column diameter is not sized properly, the column will not perform well. Not only operational problems will occur, but the desired separation duties may not be achieved. So we will not get what we desired. So in order to get a better product, we must keep in mind that the column diameter should be optimum. Next one is the weather conditions. Most distillation columns are open to the atmosphere. Although many of the columns are insulated, changing weather conditions can still affect column operation. Thus the reboiler must be appropriately sized to ensure the enough vapor that can be generated during cold and windy spells, and it can be turned down sufficiently during hot seasons. The same applies to the condensers. We know that the condensers had a very significant role in order to overcome the latent heat of vaporization, and reboiler is used to provide the heat duty to the mixture. So these two things like reboiler and condensers are directly dependent on the weather conditions, and these are some of the more important factors that can cause poor distillation column performance. And other factors include changing operating conditions and throughputs brought about by change in upstream conditions and change in the demand of the products. All these factors, including the associated control system, should be considered at the design stage, because once a column is built and installed, nothing much can be done to rectify the situation without incurring significant costs. And the control of distillation columns is a field in its own right, but that's another story. And this is a term named cost law, which can provide engineering design for new columns and support and provide troubleshooting steps for existing columns. So our engineers must have extensive experience in column instrumentations and controls. Here we can see that this is a typical distillation column, and here the uh, tray are used in order to get the optimum separation. And columns are also having different advantage over the packed column. That's why it is also used often in the distillation process. So this was all about the problems related to tray column. So thanks everybody. Thank you.